This figure is pretty solid. But it isn't great. Alchemist Prime here is a much more simple figure than I expected, not really doing all that much in terms of being a deluxe class figure. But to be honest, I think that's kinda okay. Starting with the head. The head of Alchemist Prime here seems to be a sort of mix between the design from the Ultimate Guidebook, combined with the Thew Adams look he had in Cyberverse. Honestly, I kinda dig it. Even if I would have preferred if this figure was a fully transformable version of the Cyberverse character. Speaking of which, how much is the Cyberverse Macadam going for right now? Well shit. Oh, and his proportions are also reminiscent of the Cyberverse Macadam. However, they decided to use a mix of dark green and a dull gold, with small parts of silver and black across the whole figure. This makes him look quite boring and dour, to be honest. I mean, it makes sense for a character who is generally meant to be more closed off from the rest of the Cybertronians. But it makes for a pretty near forgettable figure in my opinion. He is very clean across every angle though, I will give him that. It makes his silhouette incredibly clean for a deluxe class figure. Except for the inner arms, even if an upgrade kit may fix that in the future, but I'm not really into getting an upgrade kit for Alchemist Prime of all Transformers. Unless it includes the Cyberverse head. The posability on this figure is pretty standard, not doing anything that interesting. Though, his wrists only fold in due to the transformation, which I think could have been done better if they just used a ball joint, which would allow him to have a wrist swivel. It would probably allow him to hold his lenses a lot better, rather than just having his arms straight out. I wasn't expecting these things to be as big as they were back when he was first revealed, but they are growing on me a bit. They can split down the middle, so you can make them big knives, or wrist blades. Also, they're asymmetrical.
This is horrifying!
In terms of scale, he seems to be a bit taller than your average deluxe, but surprisingly for me, he's taller than Solus. It's not a complaint, just something I noticed. Alchemist Prime's transformation is very simple. You won't have a lot of trouble getting him into his alt mode at all. Though, trying to align the tabs on the knees with the sides of the front can be a bit of a hassle at times. The transformation overall is simple and elegant, but also pretty boring. You won't really be wowed by anything here for the most part. And now here we have his alternate mode, which is an SUV. Just an SUV. A decent one at that, but it's just a fucking SUV. And now with it being mostly dark green and black, it has become even more boring than before, because at least he had the goofy mustache and lenses in robot mode. The hands just sticking out of the back also irk me a bit, like, there was no panel you could put in the feet to cover them up or something? Oh, and he rolls okay I guess? So overall, I like him, but he is kinda boring. I would recommend him for people trying to complete the 13, and I do think a kid may enjoy flipping him back and forth. Also he should have had cell shading on his lenses like the box art. Anyway, bye.